They saw your silence as proof of your limits, convinced they could mold you into a footnote in their grand narrative. What they never realized is that beneath every quiet gesture, you were amassing a power they couldn't begin to comprehend. You weren't yielding to them, you were gauging the terrain. Each time they spoke down to you, you were busy learning the shape of their weaknesses. Subscribe to the channel, because once you see how they misread your humble silence, you'll understand the depth of your own potential. The moment your humility shifts into action, their illusions crumble. Silence isn't cowardice. It's a tool, a calm before the storm, a chance to observe and gather strength while they remain unaware. In that stillness, you were never truly weak. You were adapting, mastering the environment they built around you. Suddenly you roar, and in that roar, you break every boundary they set, every label they tried to stick on you. Their control was always a mirage. It dissolves the instant you decide to speak through deed rather than plea. Awakening the lion isn't about raging for the sake of noise. It's about standing where you once kneeled, seizing what you once silently observed, and rewriting the rules they tried to impose. In that transformation, humility morphs into a force so undeniable, they can't dismiss you anymore. You've shattered the illusions of their control, and now they're the ones powerless before your unshakable presence. They tried to bury you beneath their betrayals, convinced your spirit would buckle under the weight. Yet every time they cut you down, you gathered another brick for your uprising. Each false promise, each dagger in the back became one more reason to stand taller, forging a path out of their carefully laid traps. You weren't collapsing. You were collecting momentum, transforming hurt into raw power. Subscribe to the channel, because the secret lies in harnessing that fire they sparked with their cruelty. There's something undeniably potent about using the weapons they thrust at you to carve your own escape route. Betrayals once meant to shatter your resolve now serve as stepping stones, leading you out of the cage they built and into the freedom they believed you'd never taste. In the shadows, where they assumed you'd despair, you discovered a smoldering flame of tenacity. This isn't just about rebelling against their constraints. It's about reclaiming every fragment of your identity they tried to strip away. Breaking the cage is a quiet revolution, a refusal to let their wrongdoing shape your destiny. You take the darkness they offered and use it to fuel an ascent they never saw coming. So, let them watch as you dismantle every lock and bolt with the intensity they taught you to cultivate. Let them realize far too late that their betrayals were never your end, only the catalyst for the unstoppable force you've become. They set petty boundaries, convinced you'd stay confined to the small patch of land they allowed you. They drew their lines in the sand, smugly certain you wouldn't dare step beyond. But every cage, no matter how cleverly built, is powerless against someone who's decided not to live by small-minded rules anymore. You're not their docile creature. You're an unstoppable force they hope to keep tame, not realizing you were always meant to roam free. Subscribe to the channel, because once you decide to outgrow their manipulations, the entire game shifts. Their snide remarks and controlling tactics lose their sting when you stop giving them importance. It's not that you've magically changed overnight, it's that you've awakened to the idea that their version of power is just smoke and mirrors. The real predator doesn't waste time explaining itself to prey. It simply moves with purpose, unafraid to tread new ground. They'll call you cold for refusing to dance to their tune. They'll say you've become distant, maybe even arrogant. But that's how small minds react when someone refuses to be penned in. The jungle they tried to claim as theirs was never truly under their control. It was always waiting for you to realize you own the right to every single inch. Becoming the predator isn't about cruelty. It's about no longer consenting to be hunted. You stride forward on your own terms, unapologetically, until even they have to acknowledge that their rules and their illusions of control hold no sway in the kingdom you've reclaimed. Once you've reached the apex they said you'd never touch, people assume you'll flaunt your power for all to see. Yet true strength rarely parades itself. It's the quiet, steady hand that maintains equilibrium, making sure every decision is measured, every step is purposeful. You've already survived their traps and manipulations, which is why you don't need to shout your authority. Your presence alone is enough to shift the atmosphere, but the peak brings its own weight. When you finally stand where no one thought you could, new challenges emerge, forces beyond the petty games of your past. Others may admire, envy, or seek to unseat you. This is where unseen strength matters most. You've honed resilience through hardship, collecting skills and wisdom they never noticed you acquiring. Now, it's less about defending yourself from their small-minded tactics and more about guiding this new realm you've inherited. Managing power isn't just about crushing opposition, it's about realizing the responsibility that comes with forging your own path. Without the old constraints, you might find unfamiliar territory, opportunities so vast they can feel overwhelming. Still, you carry the scars of your earlier battles as reminders that you've faced worse and come out stronger. So you stand at the helm, no longer reacting to minor threats but quietly shaping a future they can't begin to imagine. Where they anticipated arrogance, they find composure. Where they expected bluster, they see thoughtful determination. This silent mastery proves that real power doesn't need to shout. It simply is. You've conquered the old battles, seized the throne they swore you'd never touch. Yet deep down, you know this is only the beginning. Survival was the first step, fueled by defiance and necessity. Now, you're driven by something greater. The hunger to leave a mark so undeniable that even your doubters speak of your name in hushed tones. Every victory you've claimed has been a rehearsal for the battles still to come. You're not here to coast on past achievements or bask in fleeting admiration. Your ambition burns too fiercely for that. You've discovered that real power isn't found in petty conquests. It's found in shaping a legacy that outlasts all the noise. Carrying the fire of the lion means more than defending your territory. It means constantly expanding the horizon of what's possible. With every challenge you meet, you learn, adapt, and grow. No longer satisfied with mere survival, you seek challenges that sharpen your edge, forging new frontiers for yourself and those who dare follow in your wake. That's the essence of endless ascent. Never becoming complacent, never letting comfort lull you into stasis. Even atop your hard-won pinnacle, you keep hunting for the next summit, a living testament to the idea that there's always a greater height to reach. Your roar echoes not just for show, but as a promise that this quest for more is far from over.